In the book of Genesis, we read how God created the earth, the seas, and the stars. We also read how He made people caretakers of His creation. Many things have changed since the Garden of Eden. You may not be attacked by wolves or see swarms of locusts, but many other changes have happened. There are other problems, such as pollution or global warming, which have come as a result of our many advances in technology. Today we're going to talk with Brenda Bierhorst, an artist who lives a very intentional, different life with her husband and children. They live in the city, but they're so committed to reducing their environmental impact that they don't have a car. And they have their own chickens, on this edition of Living Your Faith.
We are a husband and wife that work at home, and we have 6 children, and we homeschool or unschool them. So we're all home all the time. So it's a very loud household and complicated at times. We spend a lot of time cooking and cleaning, it seems like. My husband does the wash by hand. We do not have a washing machine. I want to make it clear that I don't do it because that is not my calling, but he finds it very meditative, and it's part of that less is more, that it is important that a lot of times these drudgery jobs that we think we're setting ourselves free because we don't have to do the wash by hand, or we can call anyone we want on the cell phone whenever we want to. Sometimes we're losing things, we're losing time where you're doing a repetitive task that your mind can be creative and simply think about things. Just rethinking those things, those patterns that we've established, like sending your children to school, having a baby at the hospital. And even lately it's come to be where you get your food and how you get your food. One thing about gardening is you're in the part of the soil, you can feel the dirt and you watch the miracle of something growing. It's different than just buying your broccoli from the grocery store if you grow your own. There's a connectedness that you feel that with nature and with life in general that a lot of us have lost, and it's really important to reevaluate what you've lost with the technology you've chosen. Some of the things that other people take for granted, we can't. We made decisions to live this way. We have, at this point right now, we have no car. We really have dug our heels in and really feel like, it's really been an improvement in our lives in many ways, because we've gotten to know our neighbors. We know the people in our community, like the store. There's certain people that we run into daily because our world has gotten smaller. Well, Rick has been reading Dave Ramsey and is very fond of his teaching, and one thing that we really do try to do is to live within our means and even below our means, which means thrift store clothing and just cutting corners as much as we can. I really see that God's hand is working and rippling through all kinds of areas of life. The way people make a living, which is something we do differently than most people. We're self-employed. We really have to trust God a lot. I would not want people to feel like I'm telling them that this is the way they should live. And I wouldn't want them to say, I can't live this way either. We have had that. But it comes down to your relationship with God. How does God want you to live? Can you honestly say, this is what God wants me doing right now? Because you're going to be asked at Judgment Day, you know, you're going to be good and faithful servant or not. I mean, every decision is important,